also something I learned from Robert Kiyosaki about having a mentor and going further faster, right? So thankfully, I didn't have to take all the money I had. I was a very good saver. And it's
There you go.
funny enough, my first date with my husband, very, very first date, we're almost coming up on 10 years. We were just talking, getting to know each other. I told him that my goal, because we were talking about goals, we're both goal oriented. I said I wanted to have 2,000 apartment units in 5 years. And he looked at me, he said, "What? I've never heard anyone say anything like that. Are you crazy?" And I said, "Yeah."
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
How would you like to achieve your first million? And today we have a special guest joining us from LA. Amy, can you please introduce yourself? Tell us the name of your company.
Absolutely, Harry. Thank you so much for having me today. My name is Amy Sylvis. I am the founder and CEO of Silvis Capital. We buy large commercial real estate investments and invite folks to invest alongside us for passive income. So we own quite a number of real estate properties throughout the United States with our investors.
Wow, so today we're gonna have a beautiful conversation because guess what, Amy? I love real estate.
Terrific.
I
Let's
love
do
I
it.
love it. Yeah, I love because it makes a lot of money, right? My passion is to have the podcast, and I had business to grow. I'm very passionate. But my first business was in real estate. We managed to sell 5 million, and it's allowed me freedom, right? And an amazing lifestyle. So we're still looking to things into real estate. So tell us your journey, how you end up in real estate. What happened?
Oh my gosh, that's a really good question. My story is a bit different. I was actually born with a lung condition called cystic fibrosis. So I
Wow.
was supposed to be around to live to be around 8 or 9 years old. I'm 43 now. I don't mind telling my age.
Wow,
Um,
congratulations. That's every
Thank
day of
you.
your life
Thank you.
is a luxury, yeah?
Oh, I'm telling you, to be able to breathe, all of this, it's a
Oh
lung
my
condition.
God.
So when I was growing up, I didn't always know if I would have the ability to work. I was in and out of the hospital, pneumonia. I thought eventually I'd need a lung transplant. So I had to find a way to shift my brain from trading my time for money to earning money that I didn't have to trade my time for, whether I was on vacation, whether I was in the hospital sick, anything like that. I had to find a way to be able to pay my bills.
Wow.
So I went to school. I thought, oh, getting an advanced degree in the US, an MBA, maybe that would help me earn more money. I could stockpile cash. And then I came across that purple book that some of you may have heard of called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by
Oh yeah.
Robert Kiyosaki. Yes. And
Yeah,
my brain changed because I come
absolutely.
from a middle class household, right? I don't come from money. I don't come from wealth. Investing wasn't something I was taught in American schools. Investing isn't really taught all that much either. So that's when the journey began. And along the way, I got a miracle medication 5 years ago. My health is restored. I'm in great health. And now I have this real estate empire that pays me money when my husband and I travel. We go to American football games. We spend time with family. That's been the journey.
Wow, congratulations. What a wonderful story. And the thing is like sometimes, right? Steve Jobs always said that we only can connect the dot backwards, right? And I think that um, when you're looking for something and you're looking for a solution, then you see the opportunity is different. Yeah, for me it happened kind of the same, and with the same book. Yeah, from Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, because my parents are teachers, right? So all what I listen at home is, well, you need to go to university, and you're gonna have you will find a good job, right? And this was my motto in my house. You go to university, study hard, make sure you get highest marks, right? But then tragic happened. My dad get diagnosed with cancer, and I'm living. I came here to London, and then I have no money, and I cannot even afford to see my dad. And my dad is facing a large operation, and in that moment of desperation, that book ended up into my lap, the Robert Kiyosaki, and I read it I couldn't sleep back then. I was so shocked with the whole thing. So I read in the evening, 3 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. So I closed the book, and as soon as the bank opened, they gave me a loan for £3,000. That was the most that they can let me, because
Yeah.
salary was very short back then. I was working as a bartender here in London, and this is how everything started. After that, we managed to sell over 5 million in this real estate. And I remember that my motto was, I want to make money. I don't want to be in this situation again, that some member of my family is not well, and I cannot spend time, and I cannot even help at all, right? Back on the day, was my brother who put all the life saving to save my dad's life, and I felt so bad about this. Guess what happened? 1 year after, my mom got sick, even worse. And 1 year, no, 2 years after, my mom got sick, and it was worse, to the point that I had to stay away from the business 1 year. And my property business was running autopilot back then. It was doing so well that I was not in the office. I spent 1 year with my mom. We traveled the world. We find the best doctor. We find everything. She's fine now. And I think that if this didn't happen for my dad, maybe I couldn't save my mom. That I was property and real estate what gave me this. So I'm very grateful for that journey and what it brought to my life. Now, here's the thing, Amy. When we started the real estate journey, right? Some people think that, oh, this is easy. You just go to real estate and you just buy a property, you rent expensive, you pay the mortgage, you keep the profit, whatever, and this is how you make money, right? But actually, you need to deliver to have a lot of skills in the game, like negotiation skills, like trying to find the right deal, trying to find the right investor, to build your team around, right? So tell me a little bit more how this process was for you, how you started, and what was the key decision that you took in your business that helped you to excel.
Yes, I love that question, because you're right. There are a lot of misconceptions, right? So it's so important to talk about reality.
And if very wrong with the property, oh boy, 30K, 40K. Tell me about it.
Yes. So the first step I took was to get a mentor. I wanted to find somebody who was where I wanted to be, not just someone who taught at a university. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I wanted someone with the actual experience. So I hired a mentor, and it wasn't cheap, but it was an investment, right? Some people see it as an expense. I saw it as an investment, who can, exactly to your point, teach me how to avoid those costly mistakes, because they can be. So if I can get that information ahead of time, avoid them, I can grow my company much more quickly. But the key turning point is, and I have to admit, I'm an only child. I'm used to doing, something needs to be done, I will do it. I can do it, no problem. As soon as I figured out that real estate is a team sport, and that I can work with other people, I have a set of skills. I find other people that have complementary skills, not the same, but complementary. That's when everything took off. That's when the business grew exponentially, and working with others was a game changer.
Yeah, a friend of mine the other day came to me so depressed. Harry, I spent 20K in this property course, and the property course is started in a month time, and my family is telling me off, my wife telling me off. Now I'm even worried myself about this property course and everything, and I'm so concerned. What can I do? And I was telling him, I said, listen, tell everybody to don't worry about it. Okay, everything is gonna be fine. Okay. I told him, worst case scenario, imagine that you don't learn anything out of this course. I asked him, how many people are gonna be with you in this course? He told me, no, we are like 30 people. I said, okay, fine. I said, okay, fine. So imagine that you go to this course and you don't learn anything. Worst case scenario. Yeah. This is what happened. In this classroom, you have 29 more people that invested 20K to receive this knowledge and information. Yeah. This is a very powerful network.
Yes.
And let me tell you something. Probably the only one that only have 20K is you. The rest of the 29 people, they have this 20K because they already own a lot of property. They're just going there just to see what they can learn, to make some friends and whatever. Maybe the only broke person there is you. So you know what I mean? So just go there and make friends. And if you build your network, and you're going to be fine. And the other day he called me and said, Harry, I'm so grateful for your advice. I make a lot of friends. I have this deal. Let me tell you something. Look, I'm doing this, and now this guy have commercial, this guy doing this. And he's so excited, right? So there is a lot of misconception about mentoring. Of course, you know, you have to do diligence and see what type of mentor you're gonna choose by the properties and things like that, of course. However, if you want to see all negative, you will see all negative. If you go with the idea that you're going to find everything positive and you're going to make this work no matter what, guess what happened? You're going to make it work. And I think that, boy, if I have mentors back in the day when I started, I didn't even knew what this word meant, you know what I mean? And the trial and error is expensive. It's very expensive when you're building this by your own and you figure out everything by yourself, especially in property, that when you do a mistake, it's not £1,000 mistake. When you do a mistake in property, it's you take a hit, right? So,
Yes.
So where this idea came from or how do you thought it was a good idea to pay a lot of money to find a mentor? Where that came from? Did you read a book? Did you saw in an advertisement? A friend told you? Your husband encouraged you to do? What happened? Who support you to take this decision? Or from where the inspiration? Or you just take all the money you have and you thought that was a good idea to put it in and to invest it with a stranger? What happened?
Yeah. Well, you know, this is also something I learned from Robert Kiyosaki about having a mentor and going further faster, right? So thankfully, I didn't have to take all the money I had. I was a very good saver. And it's funny enough, my first date with my husband, very, very first date, we're almost coming up on 10 years. We were just talking, getting to know each other. I told him that my goal, because we were talking about goals, we're both goal oriented. I said, I wanted to have 2,000 apartment units in 5 years. And he looked at me, he said, what? I've never heard anyone say anything like that. Are you crazy? And I said, yeah.
That was your goal, yeah.
Truly. And I said, are you on board? Are you not? And our second date was at a real estate conference. I said, it was a test. Do you want to come along with me? Do you want to join this journey? Because I was just starting out. So I'm very grateful. I have a very supportive husband, but I think at the beginning, he looked at me like, who is this lady in Los Angeles? What does she think she's doing? But here we are 10 years later. And we own an empire. Very proud of that.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.